That light bulb works much better. Hi, it's 3 AM again, and I'm trying to spend what little energy I have so I can go the fuck to sleep. In my last floor time, nighttime, bedtime, think time video, I was an idiot and I mentioned Caroline Flack. And I got a lot of Caroline slack. See what I did there, making fun of a dead person. That's always a good. That's what got me into this mess. Actually, no, it isn't. I got a lot of messages from people saying that I shouldn't talk about Caroline Flack. So naturally, I'm talking about Caroline Flack, but that I shouldn't mock her. That I don't know anything about her situation. And it's like, I don't even think I was mean about Caroline Flack. I think I just mentioned that she died and people have lost interest in it. Because people do, over time. It's like, you can't cry about it forever, but the things that caused Caroline Flack's death apparently aren't a problem anymore. They were a problem for about 2 weeks, and everybody was fully against the newspaper in question. But now, I mean, now we've got bigger problems, apparently. Now we need to hear about Trump telling people to disinfect their lungs with Dettol. Anyway. If you're watching this, you probably know about Caroline Flack. And if you're not watching this, and you don't know about Caroline Flack, wait, what? If you're watching this and you don't know about Caroline Flack, you're not watching this because you don't have access to the internet. I didn't know anything about Caroline Flack. I didn't know she was a person until I found out that she died. And when she died, I didn't think much of it. I just assumed it was all part of the mess of mental health and suicide that things like Love Island are. But then somebody told me that my favourite punching bag, the media, was actually responsible for Caroline Flack's death. And do you know what I found out? Much to my disappointment, I found out that the media wasn't responsible for Caroline Flack's death. Like, they definitely killed her. But they weren't the reason for her death. That doesn't make a lot of sense. They were the bullet that went into her head, but they weren't the gun. Something else was the gun. I mean, obviously her death was caused by everybody knowing about her personal life. I've done some shitty things in my life, and if the majority of the Western world knew about those shitty things that I've done, then I'd probably kill myself too. Anyway, this is only a symptom of a greater problem. Bearing in mind the newspaper that I'm not going to mention because just mentioning its name probably gives it some undue advertisement. An entire city is boycotting this paper. You know which paper I'm talking about. They make most of their sales, they make most of their revenue from online articles. So boycotting the physical paper helps, I guess, but if you really want to stop, you need to stop. If you want to stop them, you've got to stop clicking on their articles as well. But even if we boycott the papers, this kind of thing won't stop happening. Because we are the cause of this problem. And I mean the royal we, because I do it too. Every time you're susceptible to clickbait, you're adding to the problem. Every time you buy a shitty paper, like the previously mentioned one, obviously, that survives off this kind of crap, every time you buy one of those seemingly endless pile of trash heap, shit-covered papers who only ever talk about fucking talk about celebrities or their fitness regime or their eating habits or their relationships and judging them on it, not even telling you to judge them, they're telling you how to judge them and what you should be judging them about. You are facilitating another suicide every time you buy them. Obviously there are of course leeches on society that go on reality shows because they need the attention. This is the fuel on the shit fire that is this person taking their life. We've told the media that this is the kind of information we want. They are only, very irresponsibly, but still only responding to a demand that we have created. By all means, still boycott them. because they're shit and I hate. But if you actually want to help prevent this kind of thing happening, don't buy any of those magazines. Don't watch the news when the only thing they're talking about are celebrities' personal life. Stop being baited by the clicks, with the clicks, for the clicks. What am I talking about? That. Don't do that. Because Caroline Flack wasn't the first suicide caused by people knowing too much about their life, and she will not be the last while these magazines and newspapers and reality TV shows exist. I don't know enough about Love Island to particularly throw them in with this swamp of poop, but from what I've heard about it, it is this of a similar vein, putting young, stupid, attractive people in front of a camera and telling them to deliberately make conflict because that's what people want to watch. I can't speak about Love Island because, like I said, I haven't watched it, but man, these shows are an absolute fucking cancer. And every time I go to any kind of shop and I see the wall of magazines with pictures of women in bikinis on the beach looking possibly a little bit out of shape, I want to burn the entire fucking place down. Oh well, it's going to be shorter than the last one, but it's just depressing. I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's my hot take on Caroline Flack. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why won't you stop? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, that's why.